How's it going, guys? Oh, I'm a little scooted over. Join you a bit. Welcome to the Q&A. Today we have Mod Matt K.
Yep.
Mod Ed.
Hello.
Mod Rock.
Yo.
Mod Ash.
Hello.
And myself, Mod Archie. We've also got Mod West over there, our newest artist, who will be showing you some cool treasure trail rewards towards the end of the stream, so look forward to that. Aside from that, I think a couple of introductions are needed here. So first, I've got some questions for you guys if you want to answer them one by one. First one, have you played RuneScape in the past?
Yes, I've been playing for over 12 years now already.
Yeah, I've been playing for 10 years now, just over 10 years.
If they'd said no, we wouldn't have actually hired them.
Yeah, indeed.
No, I've never played it before in my life.
I only played
Where are we?
You're still on probation.
RS3.
Well, we may have some audio issues we're going to sort for you guys quickly. All right. Hop into the next question, rather, if they can even hear me. Next question's favorite update ever?
Oh, God. The new Slayer bosses, I would say. The Kraken and Thermonuclear. Big fan of Slayer.
Yep.
The boss we added earlier today, I really like that one.
Yeah, it turned out really good. Very happy with that. Cool. One thing you'd implement immediately if no one could stop you?
I would add something like the troll distraction and diversion that RuneScape 3 got.
The monthly one.
Yes.
I think I'd add the evolution of combat, definitely. No, I'd like to see a proper clan system like they've got in the main game.
Cool.
That troll thing went down quite well when it came out, I recall. The trouble was, on launch day, they had to do an emergency reboot about half an hour after the update for some completely unrelated engine issue that was nothing to do with the trolls. So it kind of spoilt it for everyone who'd rushed in there to try the new update, got kicked out halfway through and wasn't allowed back in for a month. But apart from that, it wasn't a bad update.
It's just a...
Next question. Why did you want to work for the Old School team?
Well, having worked in video games for so long, actually coming to Jagex was like one of the goals that I had when I started.
So you wanted to work for a good video game?
Something like that. That's apparently why I'm on the Old School team.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Been playing the game for 10 years. I really liked it, really wanted to work on it, so here I am.
Makes sense. Probably the same as me, to be honest. If you could decide the next Old School Team Jolly, where would you take us?
Oh. I'd like to do a theme park or something. I haven't done a theme park in years. So.
I think, surprisingly enough, that's the one we were planning to do next.
Awesome.
So that's great minds and all
That's
that.
good.
Cool.
I'd take us paintballing, shoot John a bit.
We've
That'd be fun.
We've pushed for paintballing a couple of times.
You can go paintballing.
Yeah, the thing is, everybody would just gang up on Ronan, so...
I would be sitting in a cafe somewhere else drinking tea while you lot go paintballing in the
Yeah,
mud.
so I think I'll probably come and join you, quite frankly.
Okay.
Maz might join us and all.
Yeah, so I would think so.
All right. Well, there's the introductory questions out the way, so let's get into the actual questions. You feel free to pitch in. First question's from Ben Ville, who says, please give Scotizo... Am I saying that right? Scotizo?
I say Scotizo.
Pronunciation video Mark 2 coming up.
This is the boss that came out today, guys. The demi-boss, so Scotizo, let's say. A boss pet, when there's dev time available, his design is amazing. Sorry. And I must say it does look amazing.
Credit to Mod Ghost for that one, I believe. He and Mod Maz designed that one together based on the idea of a demon with a dark altar stuck in its back, which is pretty cool.
Indeed, indeed. I imagine that there will be a pet at some point. It would be silly not to be one.
We've had some ideas already about pets.
Yep.
And there's some really good ideas coming, but whether we use it for this or anything else in the future.
We've done it for some demi-bosses, like Scorpia's got one, and that Chaos Fanatic can give you a Chaos Alley pet, I believe. We didn't do it for Crazy Archie, the Crazy Archaeologist,
I
though.
wanted to do the flappy book. Just followed you around, flapping behind you. That's what I wanted from that.
Well, it's better than having a walking fedora.
Yes, yeah, well, that's true.
Or a very, very small archaeologist walking around. We have a request for an eyeball pet probably from the chat. Or possibly from
Somewhere.
Maz, it's hard to tell.
Okay.
Oh, apparently the chat likes calling the crazy archaeologist Crazy Archie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't imagine why that
When you
is.
first said that, I was like,
That's on Reddit now.
yeah.
Why the Syndicate shirt?
Why not?
Indeed, exactly. But they're asking, so I thought I'd ask for them.
Well, I've been following Syndicate for a while since he's been doing his vlogging, so support your streamers, I say.
And you haven't seen the documentary, have you?
No, not yet.
I'll show you some footage of that later.
I take it there's nothing to announce about that one.
No, still nothing.
Not yet. Okay.
Just bringing up the subject just to dash everyone's hopes again.
We got data on lots of stuff, but not that.
Yes.
Sure. Next question. Blue Elijan says, can you pull the agility shortcut change to the Cosmic Altar, advanced narrow walkway that was mentioned a few weeks back? Questcape doesn't seem a valid reason for the easier shortcut to be faster.
I can
Yeah.
see why.
Yes, we certainly could. Bit of remapping, change some coordinates in the code, I imagine.
Yeah. I
Make
think
sure
we
no one gets stuck in a wall, because whenever we change a wall, it's best to avoid that kind of thing. We've done quite well for that in Old School, not getting you stuck in the wall.
Yes, indeed. Although it would be nice if you know the black edges of the map and people just walk into that and get lost. That'd be kind of cool.
Yes, we can make more of those issues, but I think I'll just let it happen by accident from time to time rather than actually setting out to do it on this one, if that's what you mean.
Sure. Let's move on. Evan Andrew says, can charter ships be extended to Zaya so we can get there from any dock, not just Port Sarim?
That makes sense.
But
Yeah.
don't we have enough ways to get to Zaya already?
A few more won't hurt.
Get more traffic going there. Doesn't do any harm.
Sure.
Does it have one of those maps that you have to click on to choose where you're
Oh,
going?
that's true, yeah. It's got
It does, yeah.
Okay, so we're adding a bit to the graphics budget for that one then. Not saying it can't be done, just it would need a lot more doing.
a bit of extra.
It's like when we put a patrol on the gnome glider map. We sort of cheated by just sticking a monkey head on the bottom.
Remember that, yeah.
Called it Ukukoli Undri.
God, the ha-has, man. Get out of here. Next question. Real Timmy Turner says, Sorceress's Garden is fun and extremely underappreciated minigame, which sees little interest because of Pyramid Plunder, already night pickpocketing, and blackjacking. Can it see a buff? He's got a couple ideas here. So, Sip from Fountain, which restores run energy to 100%. Higher level farming gives you a chance at 2 fruits. Higher level farming gives you a chance at a 3rd herb. And all herbs are grimy, so they can be used with the herb sack.
I like the I don't like the first idea, the run energy. I don't see much use of it there, but the other 3 definitely would make sense.
Also, grimy herbs from a thing that you're picking does make kind of sense to me.
Sure.
I've never ever played the game. No, that's a lie. You have to do it for one of the diaries, don't you?
Yeah.
Or one of the original diaries.
You were forced to play it.
So I forced to play it, but that was so long ago. When the diaries originally came out, sort of probably closer to 2009 than anything.
Yeah.
And I never went back ever.
Seem like some positive changes, and we can't tell what the chat thinks about anything because they're just spamming stuff. But it's a cool idea. All right. Next question is from Chief Iron, who says, could we get an NPC in Piscarilius where we can get 84 daily seaweed to fit in with the gap from Hand in the Sand quest?
You know, we've got a skilling thingy coming up later this summer in the form of the Winter Todd. And rather than, handing out stuff that you can collect each day, I'd really like to introduce more of these resources from something you do to earn them when you want them, or do to earn them then sell them on the GE, rather than handing them out so much.
Yeah. Again, with the daily stuff as well, you get the issues that if you don't do it that day, you feel as if you've missed something. So you suddenly get this sort of anxious feeling you've got to keep doing this thing every day, which is again something these guys don't want. So.
Yeah, which is why that troll thing you mentioned, being monthly, gets around the problem somewhat, because it isn't something you have to do every day to keep yourself optimised.
Well, that was one of the things that I believe was said quite early on. We didn't want those kind of things coming in because RS3 put in quite a lot of them.
I doubt they'd pass a poll anyway for most players I've seen.
We
Hate
had
the
it.
idea of daily scape.
Well, I remember working in the team for those years and finding, oh, another one, and another one, and another one. And there was this guy working on the agility pit. I couldn't remember his name, but I kind of said, hello, Pit Boy. But it turned out that was not his name. He was just working on the agility pit. But yeah, we got a lot of those in fairly quick succession.
Did he have a really big watch on his arm?
Not that I saw.
Okay. A Pit Boy. You never say Fallout.
It's Fallout reference.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
That's bad.
I do play other games.
All right.
I don't.
I don't. Well, if you don't like dailies, you may not like the next question. Again, he asks, could the Fremnic Elite Diaries be buffed with a daily amount of Snape Grass to be collected at Waterbirth?
See above.
Yeah, we wouldn't, but I don't think 2. When I saw these questions, I was like, 2 methods? That wouldn't make sense, because then someone's going to want 84 buckets of sand.
It's like a song, isn't it? 84 buckets of sand on the wall. 84 buckets of sand.
Everything is a song.
Well, buckets greater than 0, repeat.
Should I carry on then? Samstar asks, you have stated that there will be, I think this was supposed to be, there won't be tier 80 drops from raids, and the new prayer scrolls. What is going to replace these?
I wasn't listening what you're talking about.
I've definitely typoed a couple of these as I was typing these, as Ronan decided to inform me last minute. So you've stated that there won't be tier 80 drops from raids and only the new prayer scrolls. What will be replacing these? So replacing the armor drops.
John did say that he was removing those from the list based on player feedback. I don't think he said what he was going to put on instead at this time.
Yeah, I think there's a discussion to be had, I think, over the summer, and we'll just work with you guys to find out what's going on, really, what you want to have in it.
Because I do get requests for, higher level stuff, take the game higher and higher. And yet we also know what happens if you do that too fast. So we can't just go with level 90 kicks, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or level 80, as another player asked me earlier.
I think the only concern, as stated here, was that he doesn't want extra resources such as logs, etc. But I think there's a lot of in between that and like tier 80 gear. So I'm sure we can find something.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Giving out resources, things that people get from skilling, is always a bit of a shame because ideally they come from skilling. Giving out resources that don't come from skilling, like Snape Grass, on the other hand, I'm a lot happier with, as long as it's not just collecting it free off a dude every day.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Iron K. Dot, a lot of Iron Man questions today, asks, could a flax to bowstring spell be pulled? I can't recall if we really liked this idea or thought it was just kind of cool.
It's been mentioned time and time again, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think we liked it. I forget what the chat said at the time, but I'm sure it'll tell us again in a minute.
You say that. I've been saying much today.
It would certainly be interesting in a poll.
Yeah.
Which direction it would go.
We've got other relevant spells, like Make Plank and the Tan Leather and stuff,
Yeah.
so it would fit,
Yeah,
whether
makes
it would
sense.
go through or not.
More bank standing.
Or
On the
we
other hand,
could do what they used to do when they were spinning yarn back in the Middle Ages, and the women would walk around and they'd just have this yarn thing. They'd just spin. It would just spin the wool into yarn as they walked around. So we could have something which works with agility, which spins behind you and spins flax.
So
while you're doing agility
we're going to
courses.
have a flax spinning pet that can only be used in agility.
Yeah, something like that. That'll work. There you go.
Yeah, as stupid as that sounds, that sounded kind of cool.
But
actually.
that's how it used to happen, sort of back in the medieval times. So it was,
Oh, I think we've got a name for it. No, not quite yet.
it's called a drop spindle. There you go.
Yeah.
That's from Maz, who knows these sort of things.
I'd be curious to get the chat's opinion on that spell. If we could get a straw poll for that, actually.
yeah.
Could a flax to bowstring spell be pulled? So throw that in a straw poll for you guys. Go ahead and get your opinions on that. Moving on to the next question then. Phytrix says, can we get krill Tsutsaroth? I really hope I said that right.
Yes.
Lantidime drops, both seeds and herbs, changed to Torstols instead. This would make the boss a little more consistent in terms of GP per hour and more viable off-task.
As he's one of the nastier God Wars bosses, I'm generally in favour of doing cool stuff to him.
He's also one of the easiest to kill. So, and whenever I go there, I don't really see that many herb drops in the first place. So,
I suppose we just did give them a buff to Arclight that's made him perhaps even easier than he was before, or maybe not.
so to do something like that would probably be best to wait for a little while to see the data come back around Arclight and stuff like that.
He had me at data.
Yeah.
Right? Well, we're going to have the results from that straw poll up momentarily. There we are. So should a flax to bowstring spell be pulled, sitting at 77% yes.
Cool.
Seems quite popular, doesn't it?
Then it comes down to which spell book, what requirement.
It sounds vaguely lunar,
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
fit
That's where
with
the other
Venom.
kind of spells like that are, so would make
Yeah.
sense.
unless it's a kind of undead bowstring. So no.
Okay, moving on. Capopolo says, can you make the ancient shards and totem pieces a lot bigger on the floor and appear on top of the loot pile? They're almost impossible to see.
Would make sense.
If I recall, the order of things in the loot pile works vaguely off alk values. So possibly they have abnormally low ones.
I think it's like really low, like 1.
Yeah, that would explain why they're underneath everything else on the loot pile then.
If they're made as a bigger icon, would they be more noticeable at the bottom of the pile than top of the pile?
The client isn't sorting by size of model so much as by alk value, but if we did the size thing that the player's talking about and the alk value change, then I think we'd address everything at once.
Okay.
I'd be happy to see us do that to defenders as well, because I imagine I've probably lost a fair few defenders under big bones.
And we had a request to do it to vials, not to make them more valuable, obviously, or make them appear on top of the pile, but to make them just physically bigger to click on when you're trying to.
Yes.
Should we, again, so it's going to take it maybe a step further, allow people to, and again, this is sort of like blue sky thinking sort of thing, allow people to decide what items are valuable to them, and when it appears on the ground, something makes them aware that that item has appeared for them. So you could sort of tick boxes which say, I think the defender's valuable, or this totem's valuable, or whatever, and then when a monster dies, something will be there saying, you've got a valuable item in there.
That would be for a lot of items.
It would be for a lot of items. I don't think it would be
Yeah.
a small job by any means, but it's just sort of a thought of looking at the problem as a whole rather than individual items, allowing players to make that decision themselves.
Depends how much engine dev time we're looking to assign to this.
Yes, I'd imagine engine stuff is the thing. Apparently OSBuddy do it.
Yeah, could we not do something small that has like when the drop hits the floor, there's like text of what is actually on the floor.
Ian already said that he could, I think, do a text hovering over the 3D view. What you'd have to take into account, though, is if there is going to be a text box hovering in the 3D view to say what's on the floor at a given point, like other clients sometimes do, that will take away from the frame rate because the game's drawing more stuff. Now, if you're using these other clients, it's because you've chosen to do so. And if we had one of these features, we'd presumably have to give you a toggle so you could accept, slightly reduced frame rate for the improved function or turn it off again. But given how many people contacted us saying they think the frame rate's not good now, I'd rather see the engine dev time first put into getting that up before we put the engine dev time into things that might make it even slower for the lucky few people who've got a computer that runs it fast already.
Yeah, it does sound a little similar to loot beams as well, which our community has had a negative
Yes, exactly,
reaction to whenever we bring those up. So
Why was that, do you know?
why was that? Probably just because we didn't have an old school.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, wasn't it, when we last spoke about it? So it was, I don't know if attitudes have changed or not.
It's sort of the old school vibe is like, well, if you missed it, then tough luck. It's too bad. You
I
know?
do like the more rigorous mentality of some of
Yeah.
our players. It's a lot more fun to work with.
But now we have the skip option on voting. Could we not look back at some of the old votes?
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we should
In
certainly
fact,
do.
we'll
I
be
think we'll
doing
probably ought
that.
to do another one in the not too distant future.
I think
shouldn't
we might have one or two coming up on the next poll already.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
I forget
beautiful.
which, but we are totally up for more if there's a reason the players might feel differently.
Yeah.
Right. Next question then. Again from Capopolo says, can we get an unlockable Slayer task for the King Sand Crabs?
What about just a crab's task so we can have the lower levels do rock crabs too?
Ooh, making rock crabs a Slayer task.
Sending more people to rock crabs.
Have to find more rock crabs, I guess, then.
Just do sand crabs, and that could count for, because there's so many sand crabs.
Well, if it included the humongous rock crab things down the bottom of Waterbirth Island, maybe. Although that's not really how Slayer normally works. If you could be killing the big version of something, you can normally kill the small version of it for a little bit of XP.
We would have to rename the big version to King Rock Crabs and then do King Crabs as a task.
Yeah. Or make up a new word entirely.
Okay. One to think on.
Crustacean Prime.
Sounds terrifying. Next question's from Chris, who says, can we get a Curious upgrade item that is dropped from the Calphite Queen? Calphite Queen is in dire need of a unique item now that the Dragon Chain is no longer unique.
does anyone ever use the Keris at KQ anymore? Well, that's probably why, but
Probably why they want an update, yeah.
Yeah.
If we give them a thing that kills the Calphite a bit more easily from the Calphite, that's the reason to go to the Calphite. It seems a little bit like it's going in a loop.
Yeah, it does a bit.
Yeah.
Need something else to keep killing the Calphite for.
Although the Keris being like a wiggly, sticky thing, we could just make it more wiggly and go on an extra wiggle every time it gets upgraded.
Yeah.
It loses wiggles as it degrades as well. You have to keep going back.
You've made Mass face palm.
Okay. We've lost the chat. That's
Perhaps
okay.
if the, you know, the scabarites, the things that sit under the contact area
Yeah.
and shoot at you, them things should be vulnerable to a Keris. Now, if they were ever worth going to, like if we did something to buff them significantly and make their Slayer task actually desirable and useful, then maybe a weapon that's especially good against them would have a valid use again. That is a bit of an if, though, given that I'm not sure a Keris is the obvious thing to send against a mage blasting locust-mounted scabby thing. Scabby ass.
Okay. Interesting idea there. Next question's from Seven. He says, "Can you guys repole sailing?"
Yeah, probably one day. Bit of work to do on it.
that question came up in the AMA quite a lot as
Yeah.
well.
What answer did you give?
I said that I would welcome any skill. I'd like to see a new skill come into the game at some point, and summoning was being worked on at the point when the server was our server, is it? So,
We do have a few of the graphics. In fact, we've used a few of the graphics.
but yeah, a new skill of some kind, something the players want would, I think, would work.
You know what the skills are out there? When we did the last poll about skills, we had archaeology was a skill that popped up now and then.
Yeah. Artisan.
Trying to think, artisan was sort of the culmination of all the bits and bobs that people were sending in. Sailing was obviously another one. There was a necromancy skill, but nobody could figure out what it actually was. We had loads of suggestions come through saying make a necromancy skill. It would allow you to raise bodies from the dead, and it sort of finished at that point.
It did sound suspiciously like summoning,
Yes, it did rather, didn't it?
only with a more morbid feel.
Indeed, yeah. It was
Summon dead followers instead.
Yes.
Yes.
Trying to think what else we had coming. This was a couple of years ago, so they're the most prevalent ones, certainly.
Also, like you said, people's views do change a bit over time. For what it's worth, a lot of people did say after sailing didn't pass its poll that they'd like to see us do more with existing skills. And they're not wrong about that. We've got quite a few skills don't go to 99. So starting another one would... I can see why they might not want us to leap there.
Yeah. Fill in the gaps first.
Of course, the plan with sailing was that it would contain stuff to do at the high levels of existing skills.
Yeah, that was a point.
Okay. Next question's from Henry, who says, "Can we get more gold sinks?"
That comes the housing update.
And the player poll.
Well, literally, yes, a construction update
Yeah.
generally will have a lot of cash sinks in it.
As well as Battle Royale, or sorry, Last Man Standing.
Yeah,
Will sink a lot of cash every single day.
yeah, I think so.
I have no idea how much, but a lot. What's that?
And the change to untradables that we're going to be polling.
And the change to untradables that might go through will be polling next week? Next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really
Did they
looking
hear
forward
what
to
he
that.
said?
We're polling, we've got a whole bunch of stuff to pull. A lot of big PvP questions. The big one that we're talking about right now being breaking untradables upon death. Should I dare to try to cover this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong?
I did tell them to wait for the thing tomorrow.
Yeah, just wait for the poll. Okay, wait for
Yeah.
the poll. Get hyped and
Yeah.
then leave my.
I was going to say something else. I had the data team do a study on gold in game last week to see what was happening with it and what changes in its, what impact the changes in the amount of gold in game have on the rest of the game. And it's just a nice steady climb that's having almost no impact at all, the amount of change in gold coming into game to what actually is going on. So that doesn't suggest we need a gold sink. I mean, it's always nice to have them to keep that change low, but
We put them in when the opportunities arise anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And should keep doing so, like Hendrik says.
Yeah. But it's not a critical thing that we need to worry about right now, which is quite nice. There's no sudden urgent need for a massive gold sink to remove billions upon billions of gold.
Whenever we put a new drop table in the game, we generally don't make it spaff coins.
Indeed, yeah.
And that's a reason.
Okay, good point. Devrugs says, can more gnomes be added to the gnome restaurant minigame as recipient? So he's got a couple examples here. The 5 gnome gardeners at the Spirit Tree patches, the gnomes introduced with Monkey Madness 2, the gnome in Puro Puro, Piscarilius, and Zolandra.
I had a good look through that code the other week when I was fixing a issue with what's his name, Garcord, not receiving deliveries anymore after you'd done Monkey Madness 2. And I'm fairly familiar with it now and confident we can put more in.
Oh, that's good. I thought when I was reading the question, I was thinking, yeah, that sounds sensible. But I bet that code's really old, which means it's probably quite horrific.
Yeah.
Well, what Chihiro?
happy to be
He was
wrong.
pretty good.
Oh, Chihiro. Oh, yeah, in that case, yeah, I wouldn't have any complaints with that.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't as experienced at the time he wrote that as he was a bit later, but he wasn't bad, and it's entirely manageable for us.
That's fantastic. That's good news.
Some of those gnomes have specific rewards, a rare chance of giving you, scarf or whatever. If we could find an excuse or something appropriate from the new gnomes we're adding to it, like the gnome in Zalandra.
Yep.
There must be something distinctive about her appearance that we could use.
Yes, I imagine there is.
Okay. Leave you two to that.
Give you a snake mask.
Well, a lot of the characters in Zalandra have mud on them because they live in a swamp. We could give you a equipable mud for your face or something.
Didn't we at one point, not us, but RuneScape as a whole at one point have that hand face mud thing going on? There's a helmet you could put on, and it was just basically a brown handprint on your face. I'm sure, yeah, Maz is nodding, so it's not me imagining stuff. I don't know where it came from or what it was, but...
Beats me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the next question then. My name is Mo. Says, could we buff Fremenic Boots 4? So it says, someone proposed before to make it unlimited teleports to Relica, but at the beginning of the agility course. This will make the course worth doing.
Seems a bit powerful off the top of my head.
I liked that idea.
It's
That's
because this agility course is higher requirement than the Seers one, and it's not as good, right? So this would help that.
The Seers one is affected by the other diary reward, where you can teleport around Camelot, teleport to Seers Village.
Right.
So doing something similar to this, I can see the point of it. And Ardoin might still retain its value, given that it's the highest level of them all, because Marks of Grace seem to be pretty common there if you've got the diary rewards in effect.
Yeah.
I hate the Ardoin course, by the way.
So are you in favour of buffing the Relica course then?
Well, I'm willing.
Okay.
And I see a lot of yes up the chat,
Cool.
along with comments about how to pronounce Ardoin.
I think it's Arganug, as Jed said. All right. Next question is from Marful, who says, can the new Slayer helms that are currently named Red, Green, and Black Slayer helmet be renamed to what they actually are, being Abyssal, Calphite, and KBD Slayer helmet?
Yeah, makes more sense, that does.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good thing.
No problems with that.
While we're about it, we could resurrect the idea of renaming Vetian's pet to Petian.
All right. Let's see. Next question is from Stormdog, who says, can you remove Dark Beast from the catacombs? They were quest locked by Morning's End prior to this update.
It's funny, I get some requests for that, and I get other requests to put a lot more in because there's not enough of them.
Yeah, I saw that one as well. Not getting as much support. That
John
one.
was going to look at how many players were actually impacted by this. I don't know if you got the results back from the data guys.
Yeah.
I assume not, otherwise we'd know it by now.
Just watch the price of the Dark Bow, I guess.
Yeah, I think it boils down to the amount of people, because it's very specific. You only have to get a little way through the quest to actually get access to them, don't you?
Well, you have to start Morning's End too. The first thing that happens is you're given the new key from the head mourner, and then you can go in there, and that's the only requirement there is.
Cool. So the people of impact are people who have 90, is it 90 you need for it? 90 Slayer? 86?
Don't look at me.
Something around there, who have the Slayer level, but haven't finished that quest. How many of those people are there?
Right.
And that's what we need to really find out.
Morning's
90.
End Part 1 has some fairly substantial stats on it. I mean, we're not talking a top-end quest, but it's stuff that if you hadn't got it, might be quite glad to skip it and go train on these 2 little dark beasts in a corner. How would you feel about a straw poll asking players whether we should add more, remove the 2 that are there, or leave them alone?
Sure.
Cool with that? See what that lot thinks.
Okay.
Indeed.
We'll head to the next question then. Kippy says, can hunter traps collapsing be made to not interrupt anything? He says, whenever your trap collapses, what you were doing gets interrupted, as well as notifications like leveling up. I couldn't get a proper screenshot of my 80 hunter because of this. Feels bad, man.
Oh.
That's not for you, Ash, I reckon.
Thinking about it. Depends what the code's interrupting you to do. In our engine, there's a rule that some things are protected, so only one script can modify them at a time. It's like if Chris has the data locked to him, only he can edit it, and the rest of us can only read it, but not edit it.
Right.
Means that you don't end up with 2 things trying to change the data at the same time in opposite directions and having a race condition, as it's called, or conflict, as everyone else calls it. So if it's doing anything that really does need access to the player that mustn't be interrupted, then we don't have much choice about grabbing hold of you to do it. If, on the other hand, it's non-critical stuff that we could have happen without it leading to these race conditions, then we could make it not interrupt you so much. I don't know off the top of my head, I'm afraid. If Ian were here, he might actually know, because I think he wrote a lot of that stuff back in the earlier days. Oh, we have a straw poll.
Okay, so dark beasts are currently in the catacombs, which are not quest locked. Would you like more? Sitting at 26%. Yeah. Leave as is, 23%, the same, and remove them, a whopping 51%. Surprising reaction. People not too in favor of those being there.
Well, people never do like requirements being lowered on things.
Okay. That answers that. Sure. Let's get some questions to the new guys, shall we? Got a question you guys can probably chip in on. Matt says, can we get the option to cut cacti in the desert with other items than a knife, like a rune scimitar, etc.?
That would... I don't think scimitars or something like that. Maybe perhaps daggers.
Really? I could totally cut a cactus with a scimitar.
Yeah, you can cut it with a dagger. You can probably cut it with a scimitar.
I
think
a
it's
knife
more
is
just
like a butter knife, yeah.
It was probably just so you had to take something extra with you.
What do you think?
So is the act, what you're doing is you're taking water out the centre of the cactus, aren't you, and adding it into your water skin, yeah.
Yes,
So
although the animation shows half the cactus getting lopped off when you do it.
Okay. That was the question, was, what's the physical action behind doing it? If it is chopping the cactus in half to do it, then you could use a cannon if you really wanted to.
You just need something
to blast the top of it off and then do it. But if it was a case of you make a hole in it and then drain water out of it,
Tap
then
that
again,
cactus,
again you wouldn't be able to do that with a scimitar. But if it's lopping it in half, then
That's a fair point.
It would have to be... I would have thought smaller blades would work with that because it's more precise job as opposed to just...
yeah. I mean, again, it all depends on what you're physically doing.
I confess, I have never physically
Does anyone
chopped
even
a cactus.
chop? Yeah, I was going to say, does anyone even do it? I've never done it. I always...
If you're
No.
doing low-level hunter on the birds, then
Yeah.
it's pretty
I
helpful.
suppose. It saves a trip to the bank, yeah.
To be honest, I think the reason this came up is that if you're wandering around a place with spider webs, all you need is a knife or a slashy weapon. Whereas if you come across a cactus, you can't slash it with anything other than a knife. And it does feel a little inconsistent,
It does feel a
if
bit
not
odd, doesn't it?
artificial.
That being said, on the other hand, I'd also like the ability to chop down a willow tree with a Darok's axe.
See, now that I disagree with completely. I'll tell you why. Because in back in medieval times, when you had a proper axe weapon, right, you'd use the axe weapon to kill people with, but you wouldn't use it to chop down wood, because if you use it to chop down wood, it would get all dented and blunted.
Are you sharp
So
enough?
therefore you couldn't. But no, it doesn't work that way, because it's the wrong sort of shape, wrong sort of method. It's not designed to chop through wood. It's designed to chop through armour and people.
I'm not really sure the axes we currently have are designed to chop trees now. You see the size of them, you'd be there all day.
I think if I tried to chop a tree in real life, I'd be there all day anyway.
I did chop a tree down with a machete once.
Really?
Yeah,
How do you get on with that?
it came down.
Fake story.
Why have you got a machete?
Oh, this was my dad's. We were down. He had a.
Because that explains everything.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, he had an allotment, and there was a tree growing in the allotment they wanted to get rid of, so they asked me to come along and chop it down. And he said, "I've got a machete, that'll do it." So I was chopping down.
Just thinking of filming now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're only slightly off topic. Let's head to the next question. Kilgore says, when will we get to learn more about the status of Old School Runescape on mobile?
When we have more to say. At the moment, it is under discussion about a possible thing we can do, because obviously some of you guys play it on mobile with your team viewer, and there's some other sort of shells of programs which do weird things to your phone to make it work. If we wanted to do it, we'd have to do it properly, so that it's a proper app that you download. Does it properly, isn't a shell, it does the whole job as you expect it to happen. It is a technical project, which means that we don't know how long it will take if we do it. So the first step is getting people to tell us how long it will take to do it, because we don't know what we need to do to make it happen. Once we know that, we can then start looking at when and how we can release it and how we can deliver it. So at the moment we're at the stage of going, it's a nice thing to do, but we don't know the practicalities behind it yet.
Awesome socks.
Yeah, they've got little faces on them.
Cool.
Yeah, little faces. Lost my pink socks. I put them in the washing machine one day and only one came out.
Pink socks.
Yeah,
I wear
pink
ankle socks. People think I just don't wear socks. So, yeah, there you go. There's my pointless fact in the stream. Next question's from Penny, who says, in RS3 they're considering buffing the hit points of highly farmed monsters. Can we do this for our most highly farmed monsters as well, like Zulrah and Wyverns?
We can. I don't necessarily think we should, but we can.
What is
That's
it they're
one
trying
answer.
to achieve
Yeah.
from this?
I didn't know they were doing it to highly farmed monsters. I knew they did it to Jad in the fight caves, I thought. But,
Yeah, I'm a bit puzzled by that. Of course, in RS3, they've got a lot of things that have been around for years, like indeed Jad, and gradually over time, there's weapons that hit more and more and more. So it could be that to keep the monsters reasonably time-consuming and challenging, they might want to readdress their stats every few years.
Yeah,
Sure.
Just be a rebalancing act, wouldn't it? Really, a rebalancing job across the entire game, maybe.
Well, they also have rewritten their combat system more times than we're ever going to.
Yes, indeed.
what do you think the reaction from the community would be if we, say, doubled the hit points of Zulrah?
Well, so far I'm seeing more no's than Pinocchio.
All right,
Oh dear.
next question. Kazal Scrub says, can the Arclight glow purple around it when demons are in close proximity?
I see Maz's head shaking.
Someone's been watching too much Lord of the Rings.
No, we don't have a proximity system.
To do that, what we'd have to do is run a timer on the player all the time while they've got an Arclight equipped, checking what NPCs are there around here. Look through all of them, see if any are a demon. If it's a demon, then try to get hold of you, interrupting whatever you're doing, by the way, which might include your level 80 hunter notification, and change the item in your hand to a purple Arclight, and then keep running timer and see, oh, no demons, change it back again, interrupting whatever you're doing at the time again to do this. Which is quite a lot of processing for the server, which could really do without that kind of check going on all the time. And all you'd really get is a sword that's, well, how many pixels is it when you're on screen anyway? It'd be nice if we could, you know, play some kind of animation on you if you came into the presence of a demon. And even if we don't have proximity triggers, as Maz was saying, the demons, on the other hand, can hunt for you and make you respond to their presence. So we might be able to work around it that way by just making a purple glow appear over your head like a special attack effect whenever a demon sees you and you've got an Arclight in your hand. But of all the things we could be doing, that's a bit of a niche one. I've got to say, it's slightly less appealing to me than the one with the cactus.
Okay. Next question's from Novsi. Says, could we see an Impling pet after completing all of the Champion Scroll boss fights?
An Impling pet.
Yeah, because that Impling pet seems a bit weird.
Because they have a chance of dropping a
How many
Champion
pets
Scroll?
do people want?
All of them. Always more pets.
It's just
Everyone
the
wants more
Impling
pets.
pet. Yeah.
I'm confused by that one.
If I had an impling pet, I would enjoy running around watching people get really annoyed by trying to catch it all the time.
That's why we put a transmog for being an impling on the rotten potato.
So I
was
don't think
thinking,
giving it as a pet would probably go down too well.
I was thinking he was referring to the ones that you
Banner
kill for the
carrier?
beads.
Oh, the banner carrying imp from RS3.
That
Little,
might be what Inna wants, yeah.
little thingy follows you around waving a banner to show how great you are.
Oh no, I didn't have a banner. You know the ones that you kill for the beads.
Oh,
Yeah,
normal.
the basic
Oh,
like
the-
level
imp.
3 imps.
Yeah.
They just called it imps, not implings.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. There's my forehead of the stream.
So, I suppose if we were doing it for that one champion, there's no reason not to do it for all of them, even though that one's the notorious one, because no one wants to go and kill several thousand imps to get the scroll.
I think more people probably getting KC for Bandos than
This is-
actually killing imps for things like that. So.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Being that it would probably be the rarest pet in game, would you agree?
How rare is Chompy?
That's true.
You normally get Chompy within the first 2k, I think.
Oh, you would make it quite common then.
I don't know if it is quite common,
Right.
but most that I've seen are quite low.
All right.
And my account's never seen a champion scroll either, so by far it would be.
Yeah. Yeah, I always thought Earth Warriors would be a bit of a pain, what with them being in the wilderness.
That's true.
Okay, let's say that one's not going to happen. Next question's from...
Perhaps we could find some other thing we could reward them with to show they've done all the champion things. Because at the moment, it's an instanced area which isn't a lot of use for showing off. Now, with the POH update that John's been pitching on the forums, which will be coming to a poll fairly soon, I believe, I think we did look at things we might be able to show off for your champions' achievements.
True.
I don't remember exactly what or whether we ended up having to potentially cut it, but the idea of banners on your walls of your house was quite appealing.
You know the Shogun, is that Japanese or Chinese?
Shogun sounds Japanese to
Shogun is
me.
It's Japanese, isn't it? The Japanese warriors that used to have the banners that came out of the backs of their armour, that's all above the head type thing. Might be an interesting way of doing it. So you actually put it into your armour and have a banner above you.
If we did that with the existing Gnome Child banner, the thing you get from that diary, that might be rather tempting.
As long as you can't just set it down and leave it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It adds a bit of uniqueness to it, doesn't it?
Right, well, if you have an idea, or a better idea, by all means send it to us.
Indeed.
Next question is from Ali, who says, when Australian worlds come out, will they have a 1500 1750 world, sorry, /1750 world, if there is more than one?
Probably not. I think, again, this is thinking about how many we were bringing out. I think we've got 4 worlds we're able to bring out.
Ooh.
I could be wrong, that may change because this is what we spoke about a couple of months back. So there may be more, maybe less, but the last time I had a conversation it was 4 worlds. If it is 4 worlds, then we probably ought to think carefully about whether we want to theme them as anything. So we'll probably have to have a conversation when we know for sure.
I could see a use for there being one of them being PvP themed with one of the something PvP related as its theme. Because, you know, ping.
Yes, indeed, yeah, absolutely. But yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Let's worry about getting them before we worry about what flavour they are.
Yes.
Okay. 7 says, can we have a right-click option on the Graceful set, changing its colors instead of having 6 separate sets, once the color's unlocked?
At the moment, you have to pay to get something recoloured. I wouldn't particularly like to lose that.
I thought the ops would be more of a problem. No?
The things exist already. Having the menu on it rather than on a dude isn't much different.
Wouldn't you only have one op anyway? Just change colour op and then it brings up an interface.
Yes,
Okay.
rather like the dude.
Are they stored in the player-owned housing?
They are.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not a bank issue then. Unless they want to dress as a different thing each time.
No, this is to help alleviate bank space.
Yeah, because they would put them in your house if you've got the stuff
Yeah.
for it.
I think it's that the house stores one complete set,
Ah.
but only one complete set.
Ah, okay, that might be a way of looking at it then. Potentially put all 6 sets in the house.
Sure.
Interesting thought on top of that as well. could you maybe get access to stuff in your house from your bank so you don't have to go to your house to get it? So you have a interface there which allows you to open up the chest you've got in your house and take the stuff directly from there, assuming somebody from the bank's going to go and fetch it for you, sort of thing.
As long as it's a separate screen.
Just another thought. It just
That's
makes it a bit
an
more
interesting idea.
easy to access these things, because I think, God, they want
POH are
worlds
what you
all
might
over
call
the
a
place.
pain to get into. They want what?
they want Mexican worlds and Dutch worlds and
I know.
all sorts.
They asked for a Mars world there.
Did they? That's cool. Yeah, I'll do that.
Mars is a world.
I guess there's worlds in Germany, so you're not going to get much closer than that for most of Europe. I think you're all right there.
Canadian worlds, I agree.
African worlds, yeah, why not? Open up servers everywhere.
As for your idea of being able to access your player-owned house stuff from the bank, they seem quite in favor of that.
Well, I can't see it being a horrible thing.
You really can't tell anything from the chat, no, but I saw some yeses.
So it's asked for a Trump world.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So anyway, the issue I have with things going in your house and going to get things from your house, it's always a pain in the bum to go to your house to get them. And if you could do it from a bank, like everything else, just makes it easier.
Or just delete POH storage and give them infinite bank space if we could actually do such a thing. But having the separate screen available in banks that connects to your POH furniture is possible, and as long as it's a separate screen, it doesn't have to be built into the bank.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay. Next question is from Amateur, who says, what determines if monsters will get stuck on one another? Sometimes I can trap a death spawn behind a neck rail, and other times the death spawn will just float right under it.
Now, I always thought that it was if somebody's run through that monster or not allows it to, to move through it. I don't know how true that is,
Well,
but that's...
I do recall if you were doing a quest and you had a friend help stand or block, and then somebody ran through it, I feel like it would then go through it and you were screwed.
Yeah, but that could be a complete myth, and Ash is, I'm sure, about to tell us.
No, that's inside the engine where I can't see the code to find out.
Oh, okay.
But what could be happening is that if an NPC is thinking, can I walk into that tile? And another NPC is thinking, can I walk into that tile? And they both think, yes, I can because it's empty. That could account for two of them getting into the same tile when they wouldn't otherwise be able to walk into each other. But again, since I can't see the code to look these things up, I have no idea. Other NPCs, by the way, can just be configured to let anything walk into them, which we do quite a lot. I think we did it for pets, which is a shame, actually. I used to, back in the day when I was bothering to kill crocodiles, because I think we hadn't got the block feature for Slayer tasks at the time, I'd take my pet cat and have the crocodile blocked behind my cat and just shoot the crocodile over my cat. It worked perfectly. The crocodile sat there looking at my cat's backside while I killed it. It kept it entranced. It was wonderful. But then we then we released a bug fix so that pets wouldn't block walk of other NPCs, probably to get rid of what I was doing.
Yeah.
And
using bugs, yeah.
I'm a software developer. Yeah, so then the crocodile just walked straight through my cat. So it's a kind of toggle for NPCs. But there might also be some funny stuff going on inside the engine where they don't check very well.
Yeah, I was just going to say my theory actually doesn't work because you can run straight through Jad and the healers won't follow through. And he's been walked through. So
Who knows?
It would be
Who
very
knows?
strange if the engine were to say, I can't walk into that NPC, and I can't walk into you either, but if you stand on the NPC, I can walk there. That would be odd. But conceivable that it's got something weird going on inside it.
yeah, who knows? Okay, next question is from the Quick Venom, who says, can KBD get a brutal version that can only be battled by sacrificing a KBD head with hides and bones? Its drop table would be amazing, but would only be accessible to those who have spare KBD heads.
Isn't that just moving the Tower of Life somewhere? Because you put things together in the Tower of Life to create new monsters.
You do, yes. Like swordfish and frog legs or whatever it is.
Something like that would be make a use for the Tower of Life again.
Yes, other than giving out those darn satchels. So what they're suggesting here is KBD plus another KBD head gives you big KBD.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're
That's
going to
really
have a
just the
try
question.
KBD with 9 heads.
Yeah, one set at each corner or something.
The sort of lore behind the Hydra, isn't it, from Greek times, is you chop the head off and it grows back 7 more or something, 9 more, something like that. So there is sort of the reason why you do that. So you could potentially have a creature with 5,000 heads coming off of it.
Yeah.
Which would be a bit weird.
Mod Goat's going to have some fun animating that little
Yes.
lot. He had enough trouble with the sire with, 4 legs? 6
Yes.
legs.
Yeah.
Said he was never again doing a creature with that many legs.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so it'd be, I mean, there's a reason behind doing it. And if we could find a mechanic to make that work, that'd be quite cool.
Okay.
What makes them brutal?
They're just flame you all the time.
Mm.
They stand there and say the most hurtful things to you.
Mm.
I'll sit there going, you ginger.
Oh, Matt's turned into a Twitch
Shots
chat again.
fired.
Yeah, don't start that again.
You've joined them now.
I have.
You're one of
I
them.
joined them earlier, but nobody noticed.
But he speaks.
Hmm.
You see?
Okay. Next question is also from the Quick Venom. Wow. Bodhi's gonna have a word with you at RuneFest.
That's the only reason I'm upstairs to get my pad.
Yeah. So he's got a follow-up question. Sorry. He says, "Can we update the Rat Pits mini game so we can use any pet there?"
Oh dear God, no. Sorry, the Rat Pits is notorious for its code. In fact, didn't RS3 just delete theirs?
Yeah, they removed theirs about a month ago.
Yeah, we fixed
Altogether.
ours to get rid of the duping bug. I guess they didn't.
Still would rather remove it, quite frankly, because it is.
It's a
Actually,
fun
I was able to
topic.
tie into some of that code to write the Hellrat Behemoth update. I had to get familiar with it again. So yes, in theory we could do this, but I cannot in a million years see this being a useful way of spending the time to stake, what is it, 500 coins max, 1,000 coins max on Zilyana versus Krill killing rats.
Yeah. And as soon as any decent amount of money is bet on there, and you can see Mod Weath start shaking because he knows something's going on in there. As soon as anybody uses it, he knows something dodgy is going on in that thing.
I'd be more in favor to let them use their pets to kill rats around the game. So if you see somebody splashing, you could pull out your, I don't know, KBD pet, kill the rat like that. No? Come on, that's a cool idea.
That's
do
asking
that.
me, it's pretty nifty, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all up for that.
All right. Moving on. Leon Hearted says, "How will cannons work when wielding the Arclight? Will it go off the +16 slash bonus we see in the equipment screen, or will it go off the invisible bonuses that it gives when fighting demons?"
It goes off the standard thing you see in the stats screen. It does not take into account the invisible target-specific bonus. As a rule, the cannon will take into account global buffs, things like, Void, but it will not do target-specific things like, your Slayer Helm or your Arclight or your Salve Amulets.
That's a good question.
Yes, I answer this one fairly often actually, so it's good to get it out there.
Slayer Master says, "Can burying Big Bones give you 2 prayer points and burying Dragon Bones give you 3 prayer points when you're in the catacombs?"
We could just write a thing where it takes the number of XP it would normally give you, divides by 4, and gives you that as prayer points.
That means you get about 15 to 20 for Dragon Bones.
Well, it's kind of ramping up, but anyway, these things can be done.
Okay. It's a cool idea.
I'll take a square root if it's something to avoid it multiplying up quite that high.
So, let's see. We've got a bunch of suggestions, a bunch of questions, and we've also got some cool art stuff to showcase. So, I think we might pop over to the art stream and then finish off with the suggestions. If that's all right. Let's go.
Hello everyone, welcome to the sneak peek of the week. So I'm going to be showing off some Treasure Tower awards today. Gareth isn't with me, so I'll be doing this by myself. So I get to it. So first of all, got the new Dragonite boots. These will be blessed, so they'll have a small prayer bonus. 1 for each set, just like you'd expect. These will be an elite reward, I believe, but all the rewards and which tier they're from could be changed. So I'll just go through the different sets. So we got the Zamorak set, we got the Ancient set, Ceradamin, this one. And finally, Armadillo. I don't know if I probably could go to a poll, but I wouldn't mind changing a few of these colours, like mainly this one, because I don't really like the blue on this one, and I feel like the bandos isn't really different enough, and I'd much rather it be like similar colours to Barrows, so you could wear the boots with those, stuff like that. And got some more things in the bank. Right, I'll just grab these quickly. Yep, lots of items. Some of these are just recolours, so it's not like super amazing. But anyway, so first of all we got Steel Gold. I really like this set. Where's the helmet? There it is. Yeah, what you'd expect. But the trimmed version is definitely my favourite. I don't think there is any trims with like a white edge. I was going to do like a black edge, but I think Iron has that. So I went with the white for this one. Looks really nice. And what else we got? We got holy gloves to go with the sandals. Take that shield off. So yeah, I've done just pretty much the same thing with the boots. Got like a little star on the hand there, some wraps around the wrist, so they fit nicely, and let's take off this. Yep, and some ranger gloves. These will have the same range bonus as the Black Dragonite Van Braces, so plus 11, but just to go with the set really. I guess we could probably eventually down the line pull some leggings to complete the set. Cool. And we're also expanding some gilded, so some more gilded items. We've got the med helm, the chain, and the 2H. So this will all be free to play as well, so you can go in your bling and your PKing. And legs to make it look a bit nicer. And I think this is the best. So trimmed monk robes and a wooden shield G. Yeah. What else we got? And oh yeah, if you want to like cook in style, we've got golden apron and the golden chef's hat. Lots of gold. Everyone loves gold. Okay, and finally we've got the Team Cape Zero. So this has gone through a few changes. My original design, which is here on the left, was too elaborate for most people. They said it looked too nice to just be like a team cape. So I've scaled it back a bit, made it a bit more, simple, more in keeping with the previous team capes. Still not deciding which tier this is going at. Currently, it's meant to go in the easy, but this can change in the future, I think, as well. And I think that's everything. Yep, that's everything. Cool. Thanks for tuning in. I'll give you back to Chris.
That's awesome.
That shield.
The wooden shield G.
I want one.
Yeah.
There's something very funny about trimmed monk robes.
I know, bizarre, isn't it?
I don't know if it's just our screen. Maybe it was all of Twitch, but it just seemed a little bit oversaturated for us. The green seemed a little bit darker than
Our
normal.
TV that we watch it on ain't
So
too
it's
great.
probably our TV, yeah.
Our entire stream looked like that to us last week, but it didn't affect them so much.
Okay, that's fair.
We looked awesome in that kind of shade.
Yeah. Regardless, awesome stuff. Well done, Mod West. Cool. So we've got some suggestions I'm going to try to get through before we end the stream here. So first one is from XAlex, who says, as much as I love the new catacombs, some monsters just don't really fit the theme. Would it be possible to move some monsters into more appropriate caves, such as the sand crabs?
I spoke to Ghost about this, and he completely agreed with that.
Yeah, he was having a nice rant the other day about how the sand crabs don't fit.
Ah,
They are yellow in a dark purple
Yeah.
cave. I can see where this is not working.
okay. Cool idea. Right.
Or we could just darken sand crabs and have kind of darkened sand crabs or
Correct.
dirty
Sand crabs.
Yeah, dirty sand.
You get black sand, don't you?
Yeah,
Black
Volcanic
sand.
sand.
The volcanic sand crabs. Oh, that sounds good.
That is cool, but
Yeah.
that environment looks really cool. I'd like
Yeah.
to see that more.
Volcanic sand crabs.
Okay, next suggestion. Hellchild says, bridge and platforms at Redwoods. We knew this was going to come. So just convenience, walking from tree to tree. You can't read any of that probably, but nice walkways.
So I gather Jed spent a while looking to see if we'd got any assets that could be used already to make corners for the platform so they could go all the way around the tree. And he wasn't able to find any existing already. And due to time constraints and also lack of graphics assets, we just had to leave it as was for now. But if we changed it to use maybe the gnome stronghold pathways that go around the grand tree, it might be possible to put something together if people didn't mind it looking a bit more artificial.
Yeah, cool.
I would be glad if people didn't have to go up and down the ladders like a yo-yo all the time.
Right. Next question says, construction expansion, Castle Wars, God Rugs. I don't know why we didn't think of this. We were just thinking of this stuff, and we didn't think of this idea. A great idea.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, you say the words Castle Wars, God Rugs, it means nothing, but as soon as you see it on there, you're like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But didn't we discuss something about that because of the way the tiles work?
Yeah, not a problem though, because although a rug has to be made of tileable sections, so each one's its own tile, those rugs already were, which is how Castle Wars does it. So they could be used in a POH quite happily if there were a viable hotspot available to put them in.
Yeah.
Now in your chapel, I think the hotspot's already in use. We'd have to check though. If someone's gone and made it so you can have all different kinds of carpet in there already, that would be a bit of a shame. But if, on the other hand, we were doing a new room, which we are, and it was appropriate to have god rugs in it, then we can dig out the idea totally.
Yeah.
Cool. Next suggestion's from Ghost2, who says, Master Clue Scroll Task, Wanted Posters. So, see if I can find what I have to read here. So it says, as a Master Clue step, where you are required to kill the person in your wanted poster, they will 100% drop the next step of your clue, or transform into the next wanted poster for the next step.
So like a Slayer task of one boss.
But for Clue Scrolls.
There was some discussion on that thread about whether using God Wars was actually a good thing for it because of the time to take the kill count. And
Not only that, you can just get someone else to do most of it for you. You're doing it as a group.
Right.
Who gets the drop?
so whoever does it would just work on the whoever gets the most damage, so the same way Slayer does.
Well, they sure seem to like it, apart from the ones who don't.
That makes sense, yeah.
They also said about the poster working like an ecumenical key, which I like that idea. So it saves the time of having to get KC, and you can just walk straight in with it.
Okay.
Of course, would you lose a poster if you died in there or left without killing her?
That would be something obviously we could discuss, but
I think
people were
yes.
saying you use the poster and it creates an instance where you only get one kill like the new boss did today, because otherwise people will use that to get in
That's
and
what I
then
was
stay
wondering
there
about.
for as long as they could.
Yeah, because we take the ecumenical key off them when they go in there. What we wouldn't necessarily want to take the poster off them because they, might want more than one go at it.
Yeah.
But if it was going to turn it into an instance, then that would certainly get around that problem.
But yeah, that would make it. We've already got that because of the new boss and everything else. So it's
We could always have instanced those God Wars creatures if we didn't mind remapping the areas outside their rooms a bit.
didn't instances of God Wars and things like that get voted no?
What we polled was a second DK room, and that got voted no. So we figured having infinite DK rooms would be even more likely to get voted no. And the same logic would apply to other bosses if they've got signature drops in the way that DKs do. But players might feel differently if we were to ask again, or they might think it was all right if the poster itself were not that easy to come by and only gave one kill like you're describing.
They like
Now
the
they're
key
saying
idea.
time travelling, feels good man, and Tor. Rather hard to tell what they feel about this.
Somebody subscribed 5 times within a second. It was interesting.
Ah. Oh, well.
Right.
But before that, there was tons of yeses. So
Yeah, they like the idea of the key. Cool. Good suggestions. Good questions. So, how about sums up the Q&A, I think, yeah?
Yeah.
Again, guys, 2 new JMods, Mod Ed and Mod Rock. If you missed anything, it'll be all up on YouTube very shortly. Look forward to that. Aside from that, we'll thank you for watching. We'll catch you next week.